Story 1. Having conversations in places where it is very noisy and almost impossible to hear. Story 2. Excessive drama in relationships. People really get a thrill from constant arguments and reconciliations, as if it is a television series. Story 3. Lying, cheating, and being deceitful just because. I really don't get it. Could it be a mental condition? Story 4. Hallmark is especially popular with older adults. The channel features the same type of movie repeatedly. A woman with a job transitions to a bigger role and experiences significant anxiety. A man from a small town, who seems inspired by father figures and might be a father himself in the story, helps her. They connect at some point, encounter conflict, share a kiss, and the story concludes. The formula is very basic, and the actors often resemble each other. Story 5. Giving part of your salary to the church is completely unreasonable. Story 6. Cruelty entertainment shows and movies, even with voluntary participation, such as the Jackass series, can be distressing. While some people find them funny, I feel really terrible about the whole concept. Story 7. Being a content creator or influencer constantly having to monetize almost every aspect of your life sounds exhausting. Story 8. Living in a home with floor-to-ceiling windows and no window blinds means everyone can see you all the time. Freaks me out. Story 9. Caviar. Just because something is rare, hard to get, and expensive does not make it good. Story 10. Taking painkillers recreationally makes me very sick and constipated. Story 11. Watching sports on television, especially American football and golf. Story 12. Clubbing and house parties. Extreme anxious introvert here. I wish I could have experienced it at least once, but it seems like a different world. Story 13. Caring about what strangers who have no impact on you think or do, let alone making important life decisions because of them, is unreasonable. Celebrities, politicians, influencers, whatever, I cannot begin to make sense of it. Story 14. Stealing. I stole a candy when I was a child, and that caused me terrible anxiety. I tried to do it again in middle school, but I chickened out and realized it was just stress I did not need. Story 15. Beer tastes awful, leaves you feeling bloated, makes your mouth feel unpleasant, causes bad breath, and has no nutritional value. Story 16. Politics. How do people enjoy politics? First, it is so unbelievably stressful. Second, in my opinion, all politicians are corrupt individuals who do not care about anything besides lining their pockets with money. Story 17. Going to the movies and listening to other people eating popcorn, crisps, sweets, or anything else. Story 18. How people can harm children or animals or allow it to happen. Story 19. Golf. The activity itself is very boring to me. It is expensive. The outfits are particularly unpleasant, especially the men's pastel golf shirts and designer gloves. Men get very drunk, use drugs, spend the whole day in the sun, and look like sweaty losers while believing they are cool and attractive. The male-dominated culture is painful with golf. Story 20. Blue cheese. Do you want rotten clumpy ranch on those wings? No. Story 21. Foot fetish. It's a pretty harmless kink, so I do not care if that is your thing, but I just cannot understand sexualizing feet. Bonus. Scat fetish as well, or sounding. I feel like a prude now, but many of these sexual fantasies just baffle me. I am going to go back to my big beautiful women thread now. Thanks. Story 22. Bars and clubs. I have never been much of a drinker, and I am not someone who appreciates music or crowds. I am an introvert's introvert. Everything about those places is antithetical to what I consider a good time. They are not for me at all. Story 23. Honestly, the beach. Park far away and carry all of your belongings there. Get covered in sand. It is very crowded. There is no shade, and it will definitely be either too hot or too cold. You can go in the ocean, but then you have to worry about the undertow, rip currents, jellyfish, and many other frightening creatures that live there. Really, the ocean is not our place, and we do not belong there. When you are done, you can hike your sunburned self back to your car, carrying all of your stuff, and for the next week, everything you own will be covered in sand. No thank you. Story 24. The tribal mentality of partisan politics, the situational ethics it breeds, and the constant cycle of outrage for things that are not that outrageous require maintenance to sustain itself. As an independent, it exhausts me vicariously, and I do not engage in it. I cannot imagine how people enjoy sitting around all day getting more and more outraged and then coming back the next day for more. Go touch all the grass. Just all of it. Story 25. People who enjoy cold water activities such as cold showers, polar bear swims, and ice water baths, I do not understand them at all. No thank you. Story 26. Concerts. I can enjoy music just fine in the comfort of my own home at a normal volume without getting squashed by tons of people all around me, and all for free or cheap. Story 27. Weddings often involve a lot of waiting, dull small talk, and people eating and drinking excessively. Usually, you have to spend a weekend away from home and your daily life to attend. There is also the normalization of overspending at weddings, mostly to appear impressive on social media. Couples often have gift lists that primarily require guests to pay for a luxury holiday, which feels unpleasant. Let's make weddings simple again. Story 28. The bar scene is extremely loud. I could not even hear myself think. Story 29. Hookup culture. Don't get me wrong. I'm open to frequent casual monogamous relationships with a committed life partner. I just really don't understand why people enjoy hooking up with just anyone. In my opinion, many major social and relationship problems today ultimately stem from this. Story 30. When the same question is posted on AskReddit every day. Story 31. Camping. I love being outside, but once it's time for bed, I don't want to be uncomfortable on the cold, hard ground. Story 32. Watching what immigration and customs enforcement is doing to people, I just don't get it. The majority are supposed to be Christians too. Story 33. I keep seeing this. Entire families at tables in restaurants, and every single person is on their phone. We even saw this on Valentine's Day, couples out for a meal, both on their phones the entire time. Story 34. Being offended by everything and causing problems like mate, go smoke and listen to the trees blow or something. Story 35. Open relationships. Most of my friends are in ethical non-monogamous relationships, but I have seen them fight and most of them break up. Out of all those, only one couple is successful. Communication and maturity are key, but I would rather be with one person emotionally and physically than numerous ones. Story 36. Black licorice. How could anyone ever enjoy the taste of black licorice? I dry heave if I even smell it. Story 37. Going on a cruise ship? Absolutely not. I travel a lot, but not for free. Not even if you paid me. Just no. Story 38. Being cruel to others comes to mind when thinking of immigration and customs enforcement officers. Why anyone would willingly and gleefully do that job is beyond my comprehension. Story 39. Limburg cheese, the smell alone makes you want to vomit. Story 40. Gefilte fish. My father loves them. He always has them as a special Passover treat. I find it absolutely disgusting. Story 41. Going to bars is often overpriced. You are surrounded by a few friends, and the rest are strangers. You need to plan how to meet up at a bar and how to leave the bar safely. Going alone can feel even more strange and dangerous. It is better to just drink at home. People generally do not become nice or polite when drunk. Bar and grills are acceptable, I suppose. Story 42. Going to a club or a party in general. Shopping. Excessive drinking, smoking, or using other drugs. Extreme sports such as running ultramarathons, 700-kilometer bike-packing tours, and free climbing El Capitan. Ship cruises. Story 43. Watching sports usually involves grown men acting foolishly over some type of ball. What is the point? Story 44. Rock climbing. I do not understand how that is perceived as enjoyable. Story 45. The pop country music that Bo Burnham made fun of with that one song. Story 46. Going to the beach just to lie down in the sun for hours. Story 47. World Wrestling Entertainment, SmackDown, professional wrestling in general. A bunch of loud, muscle-bound nonsense. Story 48. Fishing. I like being on the water. I like being in nature. I just do not see the need to fish to enjoy these things. People spend a lot of time and money on this hobby, and I do not get it. Story 49. Watching sports involves a lot of setup with little action. Story 50. I am convinced that people who say exercise makes you feel good are lying to themselves and others. 7 weeks into regularly going to the gym, and it just makes me too tired to keep feeling bad. During the hour I am doing my routine, I absolutely hate it. It is unpleasant. By the time I am done, I do not feel good or euphoric. I just feel tired and sore. Story 51. Driving a car requires constant alertness, and traffic often brings out the worst in people. How is that enjoyable? On the train, I can sit and relax, read a book, do a puzzle, or whatever. It is healthier because you get some exercise walking to and from stations. Story 52. Concerts have too many people, are too loud, and everyone is sweaty and uncomfortable. Story 53. Skydiving, or any activity that simulates a near-death experience. Story 54. Staying miserable instead of working on yourself. Both are uncomfortable, but one will make you feel a lot better over time. Story 55. Getting tattoos. I don't get the appeal. It is completely lost on me. I still like or love the person regardless of what is on their skin. Their skin, their choice, their pain maybe. Story 56. Parties. They seem so fake. The objective situation is that it's just a pile of drunk people moving side to side to music they probably do not even like in order to find a partner. How can someone enjoy that? Also, finding a partner there seems to me horrible. Why would I want to date a party girl who has probably kissed hundreds of guys? I mean, come on. We know why everyone goes to parties. Let us not be naive. Story 57. I like almost talking with anyone and being friends with everyone. Even though I try to be, it doesn't work if you get it. Story 58. Group messages or instant messages when the group has more than 4 or 5 people. Story 59. Camping involves transporting equipment from home, setting it up, and then packing and transporting it back home. Add insects, animals, weather, and the worst, other campers, an unpleasant experience. Story 60. Eating oysters. I just saw a video online of a girl trying to be fancy in Spain. She slurps one up and spends the rest of the video gagging. Story 61. I genuinely do not understand how people enjoy working more than 60 hours a week. Story 62. Natto. The smell and taste I could maybe get used to, but the texture is very unpleasant. Story 63. Most United States television shows seem so cringy, and all of the actors and actresses look alike now. I have moved to European movies and shows. They do not have the same trite storylines, and the actors and actresses look like regular everyday people. Story 64. Friends, the television show is unfunny drivel. Please downvote me. Story 65. Uncertainty or unpredictability in a relationship or friendship, that is, not knowing where you stand with the other person, is a pet peeve of mine, to be fair. As a matter of fact, it feels like psychological abuse or manipulation to me. How does, or how could, anyone enjoy that? This is a serious question. Trying to understand it is mentally exhausting for me. Story 66. Alcohol has a strong smell, and I bet it tastes unpleasant too. Still, I want to try it someday and see what all the excitement is about. What is so special about it? Story 67. Sports. In the same amount of time, you could be playing a game instead of just watching. Story 68. The beach. Can't even. The sand that gets everywhere, the water that is usually dirty, the crowd, the heat, the sun in my eyes, the risk of drowning, the screaming children, the walk to the bathroom that is a mile away. Story 69. Those videos on YouTube where the man and his son enter extremely narrow caves. Story 70. Mind-numbingly easy games. I understand that people have different standards for what constitutes a fun challenge. What I don't get is, what's fun about a game where it is nearly impossible to lose and you can beat most enemies by button mashing? Breath of the Wild's combat, for example, allows most enemies to be defeated by button mashing. Most of the bosses are pushovers. The exploration and puzzles were fun on my first playthrough but not on a replay. I know people are different. I just find easy games boring. This goes for puzzles too. Story 71. Looking at other people playing sports, I understand that participating yourself can be fun, but watching other people do it is surprising. I like playing computer games, but I do not want to sit and just watch while other people play. Story 72. The Big Bang Theory and Friends. To be honest, I just never understood the hype. Story 73. Oh boy, people are going to question me, but I do not like sex and do not think I will ever like it. I never understand people who say sex is a necessity. Story 74. Plain popcorn has no taste, the texture is unpleasant, and it gets stuck in your teeth. Why do we do this to ourselves? Not for me. Story 75. Amusement parks or really crowded places. Concerts held outdoors at the hottest time of the year and concerts held indoors with poor airflow or ventilation, making everything humid and sticky. Eating crustaceans. Story 76. Bumper cars are like a car crash light. What is there to like about having your brain pushed into your skull and your spine pulled in 3 directions? Story 77. Other people who claim to be your friend but it is one-sided. Avoid the drama and tell them to leave you alone. Story 78. Vacations with extended family guarantee someone is always miserable, feeling like the odd person out, the chief cook and bottle washer, babysitter, and more. Might as well stay home. Then there is the self-appointed vacation master. The one who decides that everyone will be up and ready to go at 7 a.m. and that we will all do these activities, and you will enjoy it. Afraid of heights? Too bad you're hiking the cliffs with us anyway. Get seasick? Get on that whale-watching boat anyway. Allergic to shellfish? Tough. Tonight is the big family dinner at the seafood restaurant. Attendance is mandatory. We're here to have fun no matter what. Story 79. Small talk. If you do not enjoy it, then do not do it. I would rather sit there awkwardly. Story 80. Discos. You pay a large amount of money to go to a place where you are crushed between 100 people. Extremely loud music makes every conversation impossible and damages your hearing. Every corner smells like vomit and sweat, and the cocktails cost 15 euros. I genuinely do not understand the fun part. Story 81. Truffles and blue cheese are unpleasant because they taste like mold. However, truffles literally make me gag. Yes, literally. Story 82. Football is more about how expansive and ingrained it is in the culture. While I don't enjoy it, I understand that tastes vary and can see how others might enjoy it. But the degree to which many people spend hours watching it, and then watch several more games the same day is remarkable. It is so ingrained in the culture that it is socially acceptable to ask a complete stranger, "Did you catch the game last night?" A television show can be the most popular and have the most epic event happen, yet you would be looked at as crazy if you approached a stranger and said, "Did you catch the episode last night?" But you can ask that about a football game that was just a pretty standard game, using the same plays done thousands of times before, nothing unexpected, and that is considered normal. Story 83. Watching sports. I'd rather play around as an amateur than watch the professionals. Story 84. Binge drinking every weekend, biting into a tomato like an apple. Story 85. Smoking. Gambling. Spending time in places where the noise level is very high, such as theaters, clubs, restaurants, and bars. Story 86. Hot drinks. Cricket. Conversations. The weather. Musicals. Wine. Walks. Golf. Marriage. Having children. Avocado. Board games. Story 87. Convertibles. Breathe the pollen and pollution. Run the air conditioning anyway. Wear a ball cap and sunglasses to keep the sun out of your eyes. Pay an extra $20,000 for the pleasure. Story 88. Hunting or fishing. Before you respond, I was married to a devoted year-round hunter and owner of thousands of acres. I am just not interested in sitting outside in extreme cold or heat for hours to hunt or fish. I tried it, I do not like it. Story 89. Polyamory never seems to end well for at least one member of the couple. There are often double standards where one person is allowed to be more polyamorous than the other. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.